Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Monday, July 13th, 2026. Here are today's top stories. Delta flight turbulence injuries prompt FAA probe after Milan-Atlanta A350 encounter. FAA Boeing 737 Emergency Airworthiness Directive orders. Rapid fuselage inspections. Philippine Airlines eyes A350 to 1,000 and 787 to 10 order at Farnborough 2026. NTSB investigates runway incursion at Boston Logan involving Delta American jets. Now for the details. The Federal Aviation Administration has launched an investigation after a Delta Airlines Airbus A350, flying from Milan to Atlanta, encountered severe turbulence during its descent, injuring 11 people aboard. The incident, involving Flight 175, occurred approximately 40 miles northeast of Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. The aircraft landed safely shortly before 7 p.m. and was met by emergency medical teams on the ground. Delta confirmed that 11 individuals, passengers and crew members, were transported to area hospitals for treatment and evaluation. The airline did not immediately detail the nature of the injuries, but one passenger told Atlanta media that nearly a dozen people appeared to have sustained serious head injuries, suggesting occupants were thrown against the cabin ceiling during the event. Flight 175 was carrying 151 passengers, 10 flight attendants, and 4 pilots. In a statement, Delta said its care team was mobilizing to support those affected and that uninjured passengers received food, lodging, and rebooking assistance. The incident is the latest in a series of severe turbulence events involving commercial flights. On July 30th, 2025, Delta Flight 56 from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam diverted to Minneapolis-St. Paul after encountering severe turbulence that sent 25 people to local hospitals. That event has since spawned at least 20 civil lawsuits against Delta, with plaintiffs alleging reckless conduct and inadequate passenger warnings, citing serious spinal and head injuries. The FAA says it will investigate the circumstances surrounding the turbulence reported by the Flight 175 crew. The Federal Aviation Administration has issued an emergency airworthiness directive requiring rapid inspections of select Boeing 737 aircraft following newly identified structural cracking in a fuselage component. Adopted July 12, 2026, the directive targets specific subfleets to address an unsafe condition that could compromise structural integrity and pressurization. The FAA directive focuses on fuselage skin cracks located near the aft drain mast. It applies to certain Boeing 737-100 through 500 Classic Series aircraft, and is closely linked to proposed actions covering the 737-600 through 900ER Next Generation series. Affected operators must complete initial inspections within a short compliance window, with repetitive inspections required at defined intervals. Any identified cracks or corrosion must be addressed through repair or part replacement on an on-condition basis. The exact number of affected aircraft has not been fully disclosed, but the emergency nature of the directive may cause short-term schedule disruptions for some operators. As with previous emergency actions, including the January 2024 door plug grounding of the 737-9 MAX, aircraft may be temporarily pulled from service to complete the required checks. Boeing said it is working with the FAA and operators to provide the necessary repair instructions. For full technical details, see the Boeing 737 aircraft profile. Reports indicate Philippine Airlines, PAL, is poised to place a major dual-manufacturer wide-body order ahead of the Farnborough International Air Show, which opens July 20th. According to industry sources and Reuters, the package would include 15 Boeing 787-10 Dreamliners and 9 Airbus A350-1000s, one of the largest fleet expansion plans in the carrier's history. The proposed deal would mark PAL's first direct Boeing order in nearly 20 years, signaling a deliberate shift toward a dual manufacturer strategy. Some analysts suggest the final mix could settle at an even 10-10 split, though primary reporting points to a 24-aircraft package intended to bolster long-haul operations from the carrier's Ninoy Aquino International Airport, RPLL hub. The Airbus A350-1000 is well-suited for high-density, long-range routes, while the 787-10 offers fuel efficiency on trunk corridors to North America and Europe. Neither Philippine Airlines, Boeing, nor Airbus has officially confirmed the negotiations. Analysts note that Boeing's inclusion would likely trigger a power plant competition between GE Aerospace and Rolls-Royce for the 787 contract. More broadly, the dual supplier approach is seen as a calculated move to reduce operational risk and strengthen PAL's pricing leverage, a growing priority for carriers rebuilding post-pandemic long-haul networks. An official announcement is widely expected during Farnborough. The National Transportation Safety Board has launched an investigation into a runway incursion at Boston Logan International Airport that occurred Saturday, June 20, 2026. A Delta Airlines Airbus A319-114, registration N328NB, operating as flight DL-2351, was forced to execute a go-around to avoid a collision with an American Airlines Boeing 737-800, operating as flight AA-3161, which was still occupying the runway. The incident occurred at approximately 15:34 UTC, according to reports from the Aviation Herald and the Aviation Safety Network. The Delta flight crew initiated the aborted landing after spotting the American Airlines aircraft on the runway, resulting in a loss of separation. No injuries or aircraft damage were reported. The NTSB officially announced June 23rd that it had opened a formal investigation into the near collision. The Federal Aviation Administration is also reviewing the incident as part of its ongoing Runway Incursion oversight program. While go-arounds are a standard safety procedure, investigators will analyze air traffic control communications and procedural compliance to determine why the runway remained occupied during the Delta aircraft's final approach. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.